Salt River Pima-Maricopa Indian community was faced with a serious problem with pollution in their streams and ponds, the first step they took was to monitor the water's contamination levels. The second step was to plant native vegetation in the watershed and let nature help clean up the environment. 10 years later, this thriving cottonwood forest has become a community treasure that offers a shady walking trail, a wildlife habitat, and a valuable outdoor classroom. And perhaps best of all, the water quality has improved.
And what's the importance of having these plants in this wetland? Does it provide some kind of filtration?
We're surrounded by agricultural fields, and this is all runoff water that feeds this area. And so the runoff water is contaminated with fertilizer, other type of chemicals. And so before it hits the river's aquifer, it needs to be cleaned to a certain degree. Well, these trees help do that.
The wetland, once it reaches the Salt River, it's clean water.
Okay.
So that's one of the purposes. The secondary purpose is, for us, it's culturally. We use the plants and the vegetation for like gathering things for cultural ceremonies, basket weaving. Thirdly is to promote, environmental awareness.
These wetlands were created all by pole planting. And so today we're going to harvest a tree for that purpose to pole plant. And pole planting is just basically taking a cutting off of an existing tree and putting it into the ground to create another one.
So you could take a branch, plant it, and it turns into a tree.
Yes.
It sets roots.
As long as you do it in the dormant season, when the tree's asleep, you have a better success rate. And so this is the time to do it. You cut it about a ½ an inch and then turn it around and cut up here. And what that ensures is that the wood doesn't split down the branch.
Okay. So start with an upcut.
Yes.
I imagine you had quite a few traditional uses for cottonwood.
Yeah, we use it in our traditional rattles that we make for ceremonies. We also use it in cradle boards, and it has medicinal purposes as well. You can make poultices out of it to help with sores.
So how many of these have you planted?
Too many to count. The same technique can also be used with our river willow.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Is that smooth enough? No splitting? And what do you do with the discard, Jacob?
We're going to mulch that into a wood chipper and create compost with it. And another rule of thumb is when you plant a tree, the part that's going in the ground, you want to cut it at an angle. We'll put the angle in here.
Okay.
And it also ensures that you don't plant it upside down, because a tree planted upside down won't grow.
I think. All right, almost through. Is that enough of an angle?
Yep. And so all the excess we'll just mulch into compost.
Okay.
And then we'll bring this over to our planting area and we'll show you how to plant it.
So if you look over to the left of us, this is where the wetland used to look like. 2003 in the spring, they started to construct the wetland, which now looks to the right of us. This.
From this to this.
Yeah. What the environmental program has been doing is researching for the plants that the Pima and Maricopa people used to have. And then we try to incorporate that into our wetland. The community members are allowed to come into the wetland. They're allowed to use it to whatever type of ceremony that they choose. And then, if you can see right here, to just relax and enjoy the scenery. If you see over here, you have the 202 loop, the freeway. So this is cool for our community because we can come here and we can just enjoy the nature, and that's who are people that's what we did. We enjoyed the nature, we acknowledged it, and we knew that this is what sustained us. So this is definitely a gem amongst stones.
So you said the river used to come up to here?
Yeah, this is all floodplain area. You can see where the river rock is right there. That's all sediment that's spilled over through hundreds of years.
Right. feel like I'm carrying something very sacred here.
Well, I consider them to be. And so this is an area that we needed to plant in.
You got some started here, I see.
Yeah, there's a bunch of starters that we just did today.
You just twirl this?
Pick it up and slam it in the ground.
Oh, okay.
And then pull it apart and lift it up
Oh, okay.
and drop your soil.
That's different from the ones in Canada.
There you go. Pick it up. There you go, and then just repeat it.
You could tell I never was a farmer.
There you go.
Wonderful. We're in 5 inches.
You stick the cutting in, these little eyes here,
Yep.
they're called nodes. And so all the nodes that are underground will turn into roots, and everything above ground will turn into a new branch.
So don't plant it upside down. You'll confuse the earth, eh?
Yeah, it won't know which way to grow.
You must enjoy your days out here when the weather's nice and you're out here doing this alone.
Oh, this is the best time to do it. In the spring, in a couple months, this will turn into a new tree. And the reason we plant so many together is you don't have 100% germination rate. This whole system here was just done from simple planting like this, and the offspring of those are also here.
I'm impressed by how organized your environmental programs are, and this is absolutely amazing. So you could create something in 5 to 7 years from this
basically
to this.
take it into.
So I could take my own plantings back home and create my own little wetland in some abandoned or deserted area or some old exploited area and create my own thing.
Yeah.
It's possible. Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it as long as you take the right steps and you take the right measures to make sure that you're planting it in the right area. Because like with anything, if you want to plant a rose, you don't just stick it in like a pile of dirt. You want to make sure that's good soil, and you want to make sure where you had the environment is not going to suffocate it and kill it. So what we did is we took those steps to make sure that our dream was going to be fruitful.
Right.
And as you can see, it definitely has proved to be fruitful.